is Elisabeth Koppa is a serial entrepreneur. She has started and run various businesses while she was in Europe. Since she moved to Mongolia in early 2000s with her husband, she began collecting Mongolian artworks, mostly paintings, which was later developed into her latest venture, Valiant Art and Interiors, based in Ulaanbaatar. Mrs. Koppa, welcome. You have multiple functions under your company, an art auctioneer, official distributor of a number of mainly European home and office furniture and interior decoration producers, interior design service provider, and so forth. Could you briefly explain us how your business is organized, how many employees you have, and which kind of departments do they belong to?
My company is divided for three main departments. One is Valiant Commercial, which has goods for constructions, for hotels, for restaurants, for bigger projects, and that is like carpet tiles, raised floor, barisol, foil, which is good for ceilings or walls, decoration, many other elements which are necessary. We have everything what the client may have it, lights, industrial lights, that is in the Valiant Commercial. Then we have the Valiant Interiors, which is dedicated for private users, also hotels or also other smaller businesses. We have now just recently started with new interior design for shops, like boutiques, jewelry shop, watch shop, shoe shops. We have now make contract with very famous company in Poland. As you know, I am born in Poland, yes, and some connections still there, and company which is specialized for this kind of work, make fantastic work all over the world, included France, England, America. So that is our new baby. And then the last one is for the home, private home. We do full projects. We take care of whole apartments and making the renderings, making the concepts, the ideas, the coloristic. We have everything what is necessary: carpets, furniture, lights, decorations, and as the last decoration is art, also art. Art is a separate business, let's say in my business, right. And we just started to make auctions. We are making auctions once a month. 2 times we do normal auction, and every third time fine art auction, which are more expensive paintings, famous artists, and hopefully that will be developed. Also included get things from people to sell, specifically antiques or also paintings or other things which are connected with art.
Right. Art auction sounds very new and unique to Mongolia, and based on your background, I found out you actually initiated lots of new projects in Mongolia with regard to introducing art and art-related businesses and services. How has your art-related businesses been, like the auction, as well as the introduction and the export of artworks of Mongolian artists?
I started with art as a first element of my business, and that was 2005. And we had the first ever private gallery in Mongolia, which was in Milis Cafe. And then in 1 year time, we had 5 galleries around the city, included Ger, which was close to the circus, and which we provided concert, for example, short concert for tourists with Mongolian art, like singing and other, yes, with art also. And then I did also start at that time travel around the world with Mongolian art exhibitions. I did 74 international exhibitions for last year, and which is huge amount of money, yeah. Okay. But also very, very energy consuming process.
I can imagine that, yeah.
Because of the cost of everything, most of the work I done myself, but I also needed to hire people in places, which is costly. And unfortunately that have been finished very bad for me, because I got problem with my spine, and I got neuropathy. My nerves has been squeezed between the vertebrae, and I couldn't make that anymore, and I don't do that anymore. But not only this reason why I stopped to work with this art in around the world, because Mongolian artists didn't understand the whole effort, the money behind it, and the needed honesty with cooperation, unfortunately. And here in this country, artists are used to come, offer and sell. It's not like other galleries around the world that they take a painting to gallery for a period of months, 2, 3, and if the art is sold, they sharing the
profits,
not profit, but the cost of the painting, the sell price they are sharing. Depends, of course, where is the gallery located and what kind of money is the gallery spending for promotion of the artist, invitations, cocktail party to invite guests. These things are not known or didn't few years ago, and the problem was that it's very difficult to explain to the artist that that is necessary to continue. As I said that already before, I will also explain that I can make you to very famous artist. Depends how much money I will put in that project, because repeating exhibitions with your art and make sure that your art and your name will be known and repeated very often, make you famous.
Exactly.
And why, for example, Anthony Hopkins is now artist. Everybody know his name. He's artist, he's actor. But now he start painting, and his paintings are very expensive because the name is famous, and he is not educated artist at all. And his painting is also questioned if I like them or not. I think that I will paint better.
Yeah.
By the way, but you know, this is a question. You know, how much money you put to the artist to make the artist famous.
Exactly. I understand it as two products, same products with different names. For example, if the product A is not a very famous brand, then it's known to people at different price, at different quality, different depreciation. But if the brand B is, for example, more known, it's better price, it's better appreciated, etc. And what makes brand B more valuable is the marketing and the brand development. The brand manager like yourself is doing.
Marketing money, the advertising, the promotion, all kind of things connected with marketing.
Exactly.
That therefore you pay. Why you pay for Chanel that big money?
Yes.
When other company maybe even make better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So unfortunately, this education is necessary in this country. We have Narantul. In Narantul, you can buy everything. You can buy carpets, you can buy lights, you can buy shoes. But look at the shoes, how they are done. The elements, you know, to make good quality cost money. And ironically, situation now is that in China, there are companies which are starting to make very good quality. But the quality is exactly the same money as in Europe. So Chinese clients are going now to Europe to buy goods, because why they should buy something from Chinese company when they can buy for the same price from the really original producer who has maybe experience of 100 or 200 years.
Right, right.
So for example, Quadrofolio furnitures, which I am representing in Mongolia, selling very much to Chinese clients, because the furnitures are done in Italy, made of very good quality, and the price are almost the same.
Right, I see. Speaking of educating the customers as well as the artists, I heard you have written articles to educate the Mongolian artists and the Mongolian public in terms of appreciating the art and artworks better. Are you still writing? And
I do. I had contract with Home Magazine, and there I was writing about all kind of work I do, and that was basically dedicated to educate Mongolian population about interior design, because interior design 8 years ago, 7 years ago was very unknown word, and nobody really understand what that means and how that works. Now it's much better. It's more companies which are doing the concepts, the renderings, because it's very difficult to put things together if you don't have really eye and education. And I was writing articles every month about different elements of interior design, starting with what is the design, how the design is connected with culture. Then it's like, what is the importance of light? What is the all kind of covering, like wallpaper or carpets or all these kind of things. And they coloristic, how you put things together. Design, or the all kind of design, why to not make things too busy, because people feel just too stressed when they are in an apartment and would like to relax after work. So many things I put it in the articles, which was educating, and I hope, I heard that from my clients and readers who bought this magazine, that was very helpful. Some of them collected these magazines and have all this 12.
So the Home magazine, it's
Home magazine.
It's Mongolian.
It's Mongolian magazine, which
see.
is mostly dedicated to the advertising of different companies. But in this magazine, I was writing articles 12 months about different aspects and elements of interior design.
I see. So whoever is interested in finding out more about your advice should access this Home magazine.
Yes.
Besides educating the Mongolian market, you have done a tremendous amount of work in terms of promoting and making Mongolian artists and Mongolian artwork known to the world. You mentioned that you've organized almost 80, almost 80 exhibitions throughout the world, in Europe and the US. So earlier you were telling me that these kinds of efforts of yourself have not been, how would I say, appreciated as much as it should have. What do you think of the future? I mean, you know, like you said, for example, 7 years ago, people did not know much about the interior design, but now they're learning and more, they're getting better customers. Are you hoping that, you know, the artists or even the art collectors, emerging art collectors in Mongolia, have you know, the bigger potential of appreciating and maybe bringing some of the artworks to
this is very difficult question to answer, because question is number one, who will be financing that? That was a dinner organized just not long time ago by, I think, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or at least that was signature by people from there, looking for sponsors to make Venetian exhibition, sent Mongolian artists there, and they requested, I think, 300,000 euro they needed for that. You know, I will ask myself, why is 300,000? That doesn't cost 300,000 euro, but the cost is huge. You need to transport the paintings, you need to transport the people, the hotels, the advertising, the catalogs. You need probably make new stretches, because going with huge paintings abroad is cost very much. So it's maybe easier to roll them and then make stretches on the place, which I did many times. I have in America storage that I have probably 500 stretches now, because moving from one place to another. This is very costly work, and unfortunately Mongolian artists didn't appreciate that. They sold paintings behind my back. They didn't
sorry to hear that,
they didn't accept, you know, the fact that we had exclusivity agreement, that I am the one only who can sell and can work. They didn't understand the whole concept of promoting artists. You know, if you are artist in Hollywood or everywhere, you know, in the international market, you have your agent, and the agent is actually dictated everything. How you will be named, your nickname or other name, how you will be dressed, to whom you will speak, what you will need to say. This is whole promotion of you as an artist. It's not like, you know, that you can say whatever you want, go, but in Mongolia this concept was not accepted.
Right, yeah, I think, you know, as we were saying earlier on about the matter of time, I mean, what you're saying, the kind of problems or the challenges faced in Mongolia, I think I've heard they have been faced in other emerging markets as well, and I'm hoping that, you know, this situation will get her over time. However, let's try to look at the potentials. Besides the visual arts like the paintings or the sculptures, do you think Mongolia has the potential of exporting other types of its arts? I actually heard, for example, Mongolian gear, the traditional housing, is maybe much more popular in Europe than in Mongolia, because there are lots of countries like Germany, France, and Switzerland importing Mongolian gear for its ease of setting up and also, you know, the sustainability aspect. Do you see other potentials of?
Yeah. I can tell you that was probably 2008. I have exhibition in Chicago in Four Seasons Hotel, and I took with me a Mongolian little girl, and Yo-Yo-Ma, the very famous volunteer, he was the one who was the name of that event. That was Silk Road event, like promoting, you know, the countries on the Silk Road, and we had pictures with the little girl, and everybody was very happy to see that. That was like 10 years ago, 10 years ago, almost 9 years ago. And I can imagine that now the world is looking for more organic and more relaxed life. People are going for yoga, meditation. Mongolian girl is very healthy, very healthy. And I know, and I know families who are very rich, who be living in huge villas, but they have in the garden girl, Mongolian girl or some other type of girl, to relax during the summertime or evening time, or children are playing in it. So also, you know, gear is very easy to put immediately, very quickly. If you have earthquake or you have some disaster happened, you know, it's very easy to make it. So I think that is potential of Mongolian girl. Of course, the question is of the quality and the prices. There's the business side. The Mongolian cashmere, like, you know, everybody talking about, but
I think you are wearing some of them.
Yeah, I wear. But I have a friend who was trying to get now samples for cashmere done in Mongolia, and she already make appointments with the clients and with special designers, and make lot of effort, put lot of money, but the company didn't deliver it in time. Even they promised that, you know,
contracted the Mongolian company.
Yes.
Because they saw the potential. However, in terms of the delivery,
exactly. And these people have been very, very disturbed by the fact, because they spent a lot of money to promote the Mongolian cashmere and get the.
Which company? Where was the company from?
I am not authorized to discuss that.
Which country was it from? Is it okay?
America. That was America. Yeah, American friends who are living in Mongolia, and try to get it. And the day when they was supposed to get the samples, there was the night, and then they was promised that they will be sent when they are there, and didn't come. So, you know, all the meetings, all the effort the people did, all the money they spent already for nothing. I mean, this is totally lack of sincerity, lack of business manners, lack of profession, you know. So, you know,
I will just share it with my viewers. I mean, before we started, Mrs. Koppa was very concerned about her speaking about the business environment in Mongolia, because she has experienced some negative, experiences and transactions in terms of doing business in Mongolia. The purpose of this project is to really expose the good, the bad, and the ugly truth about Mongolian business environment. Of course, there are a lot of people who see Mongolia having lots of potential in terms of its landmass, proximity to other bigger markets like China, Vietnam, Japan, and Korea. But at the same time, there are a lot of people who are complaining about how hard it is to work with Mongolians, because I mean, Mongolians have been nomads for centuries, right? And they're only learning to be professional or to work in a more civilized or more organized way since maybe 1990s. Before that, it's a different story, I think. That's why we're trying to expose the truth, or the kind of set the kind of expectations for foreign investors or even Mongolians living abroad. That's why I wanted to ask you. I mean, you have worked in Mongolia for more than a decade now. There have been good times, I hope, especially during the mining boom, and there have been bad times as well. But what is your recipe for keeping or getting the most out of your Mongolian employees as an employer?
You told me that you would like to be positive and looking in the future and time. Yes, I understand, and I said because you are young, you are Mongolian, you are full of energy. I have been in Mongolia 12 years. These are my last 12 years in my life now. I am over 70 now, and the situation is that I don't have much time to look for. I would like to have the business kind of, giving me the satisfaction and giving
stability.
Me the stability now. And the problem, I think, the biggest problem is that they are missing from the government part positive attitude towards foreigners and positive attitude towards foreign investor. If the people, normal people who are not educated, who are nomads, who didn't have much experience to see beautiful things around the world, don't know and don't hear from the government that this is positive element in our economy, that without investors we can't do very much, because Mongolia have too little people, and the production what you have of animals and little bit of the Kashmir is not only the things which can get the economy to such a high level like it was 5 years ago. Please don't forget that Mongolia 5 years ago was on the top of the international economy, 17.5% of GDP, where we are today, almost zero. So the situation is that if you're looking at the foreigners who are coming to Mongolia, they are not the pest. They are bringing the knowledge, they are bringing the need of new schools, new restaurants, new hairdressers, new whatever, and that is what makes the economy booming. Everybody have possibility to make some money because they are request. Why we decline now so much during the 4 years? It's not request. Nobody renting the apartments, no need the furnitures, no need, nobody really travel with the taxis. If you have 300 people coming from abroad, you have 300 taxis busy. And at least few days, yes? And they going to restaurants, they going to the theater, they going to shops and buying things, that is the motor of the economy. So my recipe, let the foreigners come, make the investor
do their job.
No, I mean the investor needs to feel that is stability in the country, that they are welcome, that they are. I understand that is always some black element in every kind of population, and I am sure that there are investors which are not correct and which want to cheat. But I would like to look at this also. Mongolians, we are cheating. Like 8 billion Turuks get it from government to make rubbish recycling. Where the money gone? How much the rubbish recycling really cost? If that will be very interesting to make, checking how the money get to these people, who get the money and why. What is the reason? And that is what we are looking here, we foreigners, looking at the corruption, that my brother is in the government, so I will get the projects, all these corruptions which going over and over and over. But look at the people who living in Ger. This is disaster. I mean, so much money is spent for different things which are not really controlled. And then look at the people, how they need to go every day, you know, to pick up water, or not light, or cold at nights. Now government make the gesture, you know, that during the night the electricity is either for free or very little cost, so that can be make the pollution less. But this is so many things the government should do for the people here in the country. I am not Mongolian, but I help many people. I send the children to operations in Korea. I put my money, I collected money to make that. In my gallery, for example, the auctions, 10% of our proceeds we are going to the orphans' house, which we are donating every time we're selling anything in the gallery. And I am foreigner. And what's happened here in Mongolia with the people who has money, and the car, the watch, the apartment, you know, what they want to have. And of course I understand everybody wants to have, but this is not, it's not really, let's say, correct and fairness in Mongolian population. Now the situation in Mongolia is a little bit better because of the competition in restaurants and other places. But you know, there's still a lot of things people need to learn to make the service. It's difficult, I know. Mongolia have a lot of history with nomad life, which is kind of simple, not need too much, and maybe even not expecting much. But
independent.
Exactly, but if you want to get back to the Gloria, which was 5 years ago, you need to get investment. You need to get the people, and people need to understand in Mongolia that foreigners are not the pest. Foreigners are those which bringing the, as I said, knowledge, the possibility of making the business. So first is the stability for the investment. Second is the law. The law in Mongolia is corrupted terribly. I lost 2 cases because my lawyers has been set by the judge to come with documents 1 day later. And because of that, I lost 2 cases. I have now 3rd case in the court, where the guy who sued me told me that he has colleagues in parliament, he has colleagues in government, and he knows many judges. So how to fight that? And I would like just to address that this needs to be kind of corrected. I even spoke with Minister Tsagan some time ago about it, and he said to me, you know, Elisabeth, this is new democracy, we learn new things, that take time. But you know how many people on the way will lose the patience and lose the money, lose the will to do something better.
We want to set the right expectations for whoever is looking at Mongolia as a potential. I think you know, it's very helpful and useful for the entrepreneurs and investors who are looking at Mongolia to have balanced view about the business environment in Mongolia. I mean, of course, there are lots of potentials, as you said, you know, different kinds of, for example, in your sector, different kinds of arts and cultural products for export, etc. But there are lots of internal politics that are corrupt and that are holding the development of the country back. But I guess, you know, for investors and entrepreneurs who are really looking at Mongolia and maybe, you know, trying to leverage it, can also try to see some positive side from that. For example, you know, there can be investment coming in the education sector, in educating the, you know, the really high skilled professionals, as you mentioned, etc. So I think it would be good to have, you know, this kind of balance view to the viewers. So I'm very thankful for your honest feedback and honest interview.
I always say positive things about country and the people out of Ulaanbaatar. Because in Ulaanbaatar, for me, that is like aquarium with sharks. And unfortunately, I have evidence for that these things are not happened correctly, with the big money from the government people giving to the families, you know, and make all the projects for huge money, which could go to much better resources, much better, let's say, projects, to helping the normal people. But the things can happen, like more and more good things happen. If you look at Shangri-La, we have fantastic bakery, which I just adore. Every day, you know, buying fresh bread. So new things coming up. If you look at my shop, there's also things which you don't see in other shops.
Right.
I am trying to bring things which are new, which are modern, which are fashion with the international community. So, you know, I think that these not only negative things, they are also positive things. I would like just the positive will be a little more than the negative.
Yeah, so Mrs. Koppa, thank you very much for your insightful and very honest discussion. I'm sure our viewers will get lots of useful and helpful information from it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.